Hi guys, this is Mike from Nomadic Insights. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about some of my experiences with different crypto wallets that I've been trying over the past couple of weeks as I've started to get into cryptocurrency more. So, one of the main things is there are limitations on a lot of wallets depending on what public blockchain you're currently using. So if you're using Ethereum and you are going to try to do things on the Ethereum platform, you need a special Ethereum wallet to access decentralized applications, which is not very user friendly. So at the moment, there is really a need for standardization between public blockchains or different blockchain ecosystems in order to allow for interoperability of decentralized applications. It's a little bit of a programming nightmare, just to be a little blunt, from a user experience perspective. And it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of user research going on right now because it's the wild west of, oh, let's do cool things within these wallets. So personally, there are some very distinct differences between different crypto applications and what they're good for. So a lot of users come in, they're using the anonymous Coinbase app to store their cryptocurrencies. Now, the issue is the Coinbase app is not really a true wallet. It's kind of a secure, walled off environment. It really is like the iOS of crypto, and it really leaves you unable to access a lot of applications unless you switch over to Coinbase Wallet, which is a mobile application. And this gets us into a lot of other issues, whether we should have mobile first development for wallets, which personally I disagree with. I think it should be on a desktop platform, which is how I prefer to manage finance, and there needs to be more of an interoperability where it can't be basically operating system specific. And these applications should be web first. That's my personal belief as a developer, but hey, that's me. So where I'm going with this is Coinbase does not allow you to interact with protocols such as Compound or other interesting protocols like Uniswap or 1inch, which are DEX or decentralized exchanges. So you need to then go through all the Googling, the learning of getting something like Metamask, and it really is not user friendly. It is a very clunky, counterintuitive process, and you almost need a WeChat for crypto technology. I know that sounds very strange, but the ecosystem that Ethereum is trying to create reminds me a lot of WeChat, and you really just need an application that is able to interface with different blockchains and different blockchain technologies. So something like Chromium, where it's open source and it could be forked, is incredibly critical to a crypto ecosystem. So like a Firefox or a web browser designed around Web 3.0. And we're so focused on the infrastructure of blockchains right now. The technology is incredibly cool, but the packaging or how a user will actually use these DeFi apps, you just get thrown into the deep end. So I don't feel that Coinbase or even Metamask, as I've been using these applications, really provides what I would call a Web 3.0 browser. So, Web 2.0 was dominated by mobile applications, but we're really looking at a paradigm shift for how users need to interact with blockchains and public blockchains. So until you have a Web 3.0 web browser, something like Brave is coming closer, crypto is not going to enter, the mainstream, because you need that Web 3.0 browser to really have a user friendly experience. And I'm talking about things where it's like the standards like JavaScript, just these open source standards, which modern web browsers all support. Because if you go back years and years and years as a web developer, I can remember being a kid and building my first website and going, oh my God, this is so terrible to use. And it just reminds me of like, JavaScript, things breaking out on different devices. There's unintended user error, depending on if I'm on mobile, desktop. And, blockchain has all these problems, and then people's life savings or more. So there really is a need for a fork of Chromium. And this is one of those things I'm going to try to start working on, as a developer. Unfortunately, like I'm a Salesforce developer. I'm not a browser developer. I don't do desktop applications, but what you need is a Web 3.0 browser, and I see that as being critical to the growth of the blockchain technology now that the ledgers and the systems exist. So you have kind of the JavaScript of Web 3.0, which is Ethereum and these different blockchains. Now we need an actual browser engine. And this is kind of with these wallets, all of these wallets fail to really be a Web 3.0 browser. And this is kind of what I'm referring to. So whether it be Brave, we're still operating on, if I'm building from scratch, Web 3.0 browser, I think you're going to use a different browser than you would use to interact with Facebook. And I think that is probably the next application where you just interact with Web 3 applications differently, and you need an interface, you need a GUI that just lets users interact. I am sorry for my tech guy rant here, but killer app as far as I'm concerned is a Web 3.0 browser, and actually understanding the different paradigms of web development. We're actually going to build this browser. It seems pretty key. I mean, this has probably already been discussed, but I'm just like, damn, we need a Web 3.0 web browser. Like, dang, guys, because this is a user nightmare. I mean, I am. It's like impressively bad and clunky. Then the gas fees. Okay, part two here. Part two of this little rant. Do you know how expensive these fees are, man? It's kind of cray. It's kind of cray. So just to send like $10, like if I'm sending a $50 transaction, I'm paying 20% in transaction fees. Like, if I'm farting around, like, cool, homie. Like, this Omen PC over here that's mining crypto and is a tax deduction. That's good. That's good stuff. I love it. $10 transaction fees. That's not cool. I'm cheap. I'm a developer. Vlogs about money. It has a stinky dog who needs stinky dog treats. I ain't got money to pay $15 when I spend 50. Oh my God. So crypto needs to be more user friendly. You can have privacy and user friendly. These are not mutually exclusive. It's just when you let. Okay, I'm going to give you a good example here. My college roommate, computer programmer, okay, uses Linux. Linux is not very user friendly. Like, I'm gonna get some flame for that, but it can't be Linux if it's gonna scale. Linux has enjoyed a lot of open source applications within servers, but the server community is very different than a retail user community. And right now, this technology is catering to people who are, not normal users, but it's very frustrating as you're getting started with these blockchains, because you're looking through, you're like, okay, what's a DeFi, how does this work? And it's obtuse and counterintuitive. It needs to be radically simplified. The good apps are simple right now. There's just way too much going on. Simplicity. That's what's great about Apple. Simplicity. Coinbase ain't Apple. It is not that simple. So thanks so much, guys, for watching this. I am going to be trying to put out more content, get my vaccine day. Thank you.